Hey everybody, and welcome back to Lindsay's Little Library. So I'm here today for BookList Thursday. BookList Thursday is something I do with Sarah over at Sarah's Nightstand. We come to you every Thursday with some sort of book thoughts, ideas, recommendations, something bookish related. So this BookList Thursday is fun for a number of reasons. Number one is we get to talk about Halloween characters and movies that we love. That's the theme. Number two is today, Sarah and I are actually meeting in person. Is that not fantastic? Oh my gosh, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. So we're going to be having some fun. You guys are going to be having some fun. We'll bring you with me. It's going to be great. But for now, until that actually happens, because we're not quite there yet, let's talk about some Halloween movie characters we love and the books we would recommend to them. Now, I'm not a huge scary movie kind of girl. I love me a creepy book, but books can be put in the freezer. I don't know what it is. That was totally a Friends reference if you missed it, but I can deal with reading a creepy book, but watching a scary movie, not the best at. So I've got two movies that I watch on a regular basis that are Halloween themed, and I'm going to recommend books to those characters. So the first one, the one that is on, I swear, all of the time in our house is Hocus Pocus. My kids love it. We love it. It's fantastic. The Sanderson sisters are just... they're part of our family. So if I'm going to recommend books to my wonderful Sanderson sisters, here's what I'm going to recommend. So Sarah, she's the blonde one. She's fun. I feel like she'd like the romance. She'd like the hot and heavy books. So I'm going to tell her she needs to read the series A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas and specifically get to A Court of Mist and Fury. So I feel like she would really like this. It's got everything. It's got everything that I feel like Sarah would have. It's got the love, it's got the romance, it's got the boys. Yet there's some fighting and there's some, you know, she's a little on edge. And I feel like this is a little on edge. So I like this. If you haven't heard of A Court of Thorns and Roses, it is a series of books that follows, how do I even explain this? It's a fantasy book and we have our main character, of course, what's her name? Feyre. And she finds herself in a little bit of trouble because when she was out hunting trying to find food for her family, she may have tried to kill the wrong animal and now has to live with the fairies because that's kind of her punishment. So she goes to this other world that she was always told to be fearful of and to stay away from, and now she has to be part of it, and it goes from there. It's so good. So Sarah would like this one. For my friend Mary, I feel like Mary Sanderson could probably use a little self-help book. I feel like there is so much potential in Mary. She is like the peacekeeper of them. She is definitely more of a follower and maybe doesn't have the best self-confidence in how awesome she can be. So I'm going to tell Mary that she needs to read You Are a Badass. This is by Jen Sincero. And it's really good affirmation about the potential that is in every single one of us. It's funny. For a self-help book, it's fantastic. And I have tabbed this like no tomorrow because there's so much in here to remind myself of. And I love that at the end of every single chapter, she tells you to love yourself because it's the holy grail of happiness. Let's see what this one says. But it's always reminding you to love yourself more than you love your drama. I mean, it gives you all of the good things and all of the good reminders, and I feel like Mary could use this because Mary's badass. All right, for our friend Winifred, she likes the dark. She likes the sinisterness of it, and so I'm thinking Labyrinth Lost for her. This is by Zoraida Cordova. So this one, a fantasy book again, but a little darker. So we have Alex is a Bruja, the most powerful witch in a generation, which again, I think Winifred could probably empathize with. But yet, Alex hates magic. So at her Death Day celebration, Alex performs a spell to rid herself of her power. But it backfires and her whole family vanishes into thin air, leaving her alone with Nova, a Bruja boy she can't trust, a boy whose intentions are as dark as the strange markings on his skin. The only way to get her family back is to travel with Nova to Los Lagos, a land in between as dark as Limbo and as strange as Wonderland. So I just feel like this has Winifred written all over this book, and she would really like that one. As a whole, I feel like the three sisters should really pay attention to Survive the Night by Riley Sager, so they know how to survive the night, because apparently they don't know how to do a great job at that. Because they don't. So that's my fun book recommendations for the Sanderson sisters. The other movie we love to watch is The Addams Family. So if I'm going to talk about them, I love Wednesday and I love Pugsley. So in fact, my daughter's actually going as Wednesday for Halloween. It's going to be super cute. So for Pugsley, I feel like he would love The Cat Kid or the Dog Man graphic novels because he likes the humor. I feel like it would be something he would really, really enjoy. Are these two books? My kids love these. Max, I think, is now on his like third time through reading Dog Man and Cat Kid. I want to say Emily read this probably in one sitting, but they love these books. For Wednesday, I feel like she needs something a little more serious, a little more grown up. So we're going to give her a recommendation to read Jane Steele by Lindsay Faye. This is a gothic retelling of Jane Eyre, and it follows a girl as she's attempting to kind of get rid of her not so fantastic past and all of the dead bodies she kind of leaves in her wake. I feel like Wednesday would appreciate Jane and her little bit of a murderous past and empathize with what Jane had to do and what she's trying to kind of do going forward and make her mark. So I feel like Wednesday would definitely empathize with Jane Steele. They'd have some in common. I think she would really like it. So those are my recommendations for my favorite Halloween movie characters, which of course only 2 movies, but it's fine. I love them equally. Head over to Sarah's channel, see what she has for us today, what she came up with. I'm sure she has a little darker movies to talk about. That's fine. Otherwise, comment below. Let me know if there's any fun books you would recommend to some fictional or not so fictional characters out there. But yeah, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I will see you next time. Bye.